Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to celebrate something special. It is now my first day after spending 365 days without alcohol, which I'm so happy about. And of course there's a lot to unpack there, but we'll see how it goes. So, let me pour the tea before I spill it. For those of you that don't know, I am 48 years old. I have been an alcoholic for most of that time. I first came out, I first started drinking, I guess, mostly when I was around 20 years old. Did some in high school, but nothing really significant. And it wasn't until, I guess, when I was 21 that I really became aware that I was an alcoholic. At least I was out to myself as an alcoholic. I had a party for my 21st birthday and bought a keg of beer and got blackout drunk. And for the first time in my life said something really upsetting to my girlfriend. So I think that was just, a clear sign that something was wrong. And as I went through school, architecture college, it was highly stressful, and there was definitely a culture of drinking in the architecture field that I certainly took part in, and that's how I learned how to drink martinis. And if you know anything about alcohol, martinis are just straight gin, basically, with maybe a tiny bit of vermouth. And it came from somewhere, too. I have 3 of my 4 grandparents are alcoholics. So, having that history in my family, I think there's a good chance I was in some way genetically predisposed, or there was some kind of epigenetic relationship there. One of those 3 grandparents actually killed herself before I was born. So then, additional family trauma to cope with. And, additional family trauma for my parents to cope with, too. So, I'm sure that had an impact. As time went on, I was a functional alcoholic for a long time. When it became more and more clear to me that I was trans, or I needed to be a girl, then I think there was definitely a tendency to do a lot more blackout drinking. Or just, I certainly had a history of drinking alone and drinking to the point of where, I just needed to pass out. And I don't even know if there was a reason behind it, but I do know that I'm so much happier when I'm not drinking. There was a time in my life when I thought sober, why would you ever want to be sober? Sobriety seems like such a terrible idea, but it's not. It's actually fantastic. I'm so much happier now that I'm not drinking. Now, I should say this is not the first time I've had a stint of sobriety. In the mid-20 teens, I was sober for at least 20 months, I believe, maybe a little bit longer. Sober, including all the substances. I think I was probably without alcohol for over 2 years. But then I was in a situation where I had a new job and we went on a ski trip, and I broke my ankle or my calf snowboarding down a hill, and not really prepared for it, not being in physically good enough shape to do it. And she offered me a beer, and I wanted one, so I said yes. And that was at the beginning of 2016. And then I proceeded to be drunk for most of the Trump presidency. Of course, with exceptions, I wasn't drunk at work. But I was, going and getting my 12-pack and drinking 12 to 15 beers every night. Or when things got really bad towards the lockdown of 2020, then I was drinking like close to a whole bottle of whiskey a night. So it's incredibly damaging. It damages not only your body, but it damages your sense of self. It damages your ability to have any idea about what's going on in your life. It damages your ability to really function in any clear, cohesive level in your life. It affects you. It affects the people around you. It's really just a horrible way to live. And, I felt like it was something I could do to try and get through it. Certainly the Trump presidency was really difficult for me. The stress at my job was really difficult for me, but it's not an effective way to deal with stress. It's really running away with it, running away from it. You're not coping with the stress. You're just trying to check out. And if you just try to check out, then you can't really properly cope with it. Nor can you properly cope with any other part of your life. While you're blotto. So I'm really happy I'm sober now. You'll notice my sobriety date is a week after Trump got out of office, and it's also it was the full moon in January of 2021. Something similar happened with my smoking cannabis. That stopped a couple months later on March 28th, and I'm sure I'll do a video for my sober anniversary where I was able to quit all of the mind-altering substances. So now I'm just drinking herbal tea. And I'm really grateful to be here. It's been a joy to not feel chained to that addiction anymore. I haven't been doing Alcoholics Anonymous. I had done in my previous sobriety thing, and I'm not a fan of the program. I don't think the program is very good, but what is very good is relating with other people who are going through the same thing that you're going through and having a camaraderie with them. So I do think a support group is a good idea if you can get one. Where I am now, I can't really get one except for maybe online. And there probably are some online groups, but I only recently got good enough internet to do that sort of thing. And it's been easy enough that I haven't really felt the need to do that. So I'm going it alone, but it's not a problem, and I'm really happy with it. Have you had any issues with sobriety or addiction? I'd be interested to hear them in the comments. And yeah, if this kind of content appeals to you, that you want to hear about my sober journey, then please put it in the comments and I will respond or do another video and we can talk about it some more. It's really my pleasure to connect with you. And I want to feel if there's any way I can help you in your sober journey, that please let me, I'd love to do it. Please let me know. I'm sure there's a lot I've left out, and I'm sure there's a lot more that could come in later, but in the meantime, I think that'll be it for this video. May you be well. May you be blessed. May you be at peace. May you be full of unconditional love for all beings. May you be perfectly healed. May you be perfectly healthy. Aloha.